272 of the year of streaming and learning to code. We are continuing on yet again here at freeCodeCamp. We are so close in general, not to the end of freeCodeCamp, however, to the end of September. Today's the 29th, tomorrow's the 30th. End of all this nonsense, and then October 1st, we are now a day and a couple hours away from diving into our newest viewer-submitted project, Topher's second project that he has sent our way. That will be sort of our inaugural project as we dive into side projects, far more frequently over the next 2 months. So yeah, that's what we've got scheduled ahead of us. Let's see. But instead of dealing with the future, we need to deal with right now, which means finding a challenge to tackle. Lesson, item, one of those. Wow, it brought us to the right one? Maybe because we were on Spinal Tap before. Oh, yeah, we had to move code over post-stream. That's okay. We're good. Alright, so sum all Fibonacci numbers. Why do I get the feeling we are not going to be able to pull this off in time? Or maybe we will. We can reference our old Kata from Code Wars. We've already done this, technically, but let's find out. There's probably something slightly different regarding this one. From the top, sum all... Oh, there it is, right in the beginning. Sum all odd Fibonacci numbers. Given a positive integer num, return the sum of all odd Fibonacci numbers that are less than or equal to num. Very confused. The first two numbers in the Fibonacci sequence are 1 and 1. Every additional number in the sequence is the sum of the previous two numbers. The first 6 numbers of the Fibonacci sequence are 1 and 1, which add up to 2. Then you've got 1 and 2, which add up to 3. 2 and 3, which add up to 5. 3 and 5 add up to 8, and so on and so forth. For example, sum fibs 10 should return example, sum fibs 10 should return 10 because all odd Fibonacci numbers less than 10 are 1, 3, and 5. Don't mind me. Yeah. Okay. Crisis averted. Hey, Yum. How are you doing? Hopefully your day is going well. We're just in the midst of coming to terms with this and putting out some fires on our phone before proceeding. Bad Steven. Oh, good. All right. Hopefully, oh god, we closed out of Twitch chat. Not good. We're coming back, Yum. There we go, and back into chat. There we go. Hopefully your day is going well. All right. Good. So, for example, sum fibs 10 should return 10 because all odd Fibonacci numbers less than 10 are 1, 3, and... Aha! So we're going through the whole sequence, but we're only returning the odd numbers of the sequence. I think. Remember to use read search, ask if you get stuck, try to pair program, write your own code. Here are some helpful links. Remainder. I think they mean modulo. Yeah, they're talking about modulo. Okay, good, good, good. Very cool. I think we can use reduce as well. So down here we've got sum fibs 1 should return a number, just 1. Yum yum, good. How's your journey to becoming master programmer going? Decent overall. Decent overall. We were reflecting on what's to come in just the next day or two, starting October 1st. Today's September 29th, so we've got tomorrow the 30th. Then we kick off October. We're going to be diving pretty hard compared to the last, 3 quarters of this year, into side projects, personal projects, whether it's an Atom or maybe we'll decide to download Visual. Interesting. My phone is blowing up. Hold on. Okay, yeah, good, good, good. All right. Anyways, so phone crisis slightly averted yet again. Diving into more side projects, which we should have done from the beginning, I know, but that wasn't the goal of this. That wasn't the specific goal of this odd journey we embarked on at the beginning of the year. So I'm looking forward to October and all the side projects that we will eventually be tackling. The first project is Topher's second project he's hooking us up with. So, and I think it's building a quiz or something like that. Pretty sure it's building a quiz. It should be interesting. So that's what we've got on the books for October 1st. Today and tomorrow is treading water, making minor progress, but that's about it. All right. Test and example cases. 1 should return a number. Sum fibs 1000 should return, oh dear God, 1785. What the 4 should return 5 because it's 1, 1, 2, and 3. The sum. Wait. We have 1 and 1, which gives us 2. 1 and 2 gives us 3. Do they only want to sum the last 2 numbers? Because 2 and 3 would give us 5. If we added the first 1 and 2, we'd end up with 7. Yeah, it must be just summing the last 2. 2 and 3 up to 4. So we do Fibonacci number up to this, and we only sum the last 2. Okay. That makes a little more sense. Yeah, definitely. Let's back out. Let's take this. Fibonacci. 1785. Let's test that. Right? Oh, no, Fibonacci 1000. 1000. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so 1 is 0, blah, 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 22. 250. 1000 Fibonacci row numbers. Okay. Yeah. 0, 1, 2, blah, blah, blah. Jesus. I am so wildly confused on what the hell is happening. How do I... What the f is going on? Oh, good. It scrolls all the way over. Fascinating. This is weird. 1,000. What the hell am I looking at? Yes. Should be a 3. I don't know what the hell is happening. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I'm just trying to figure out what exactly they want, what we're returning. The only one I can wrap my head around is down here, which is 4. Should return 5. Sum the fibs. Let's read through it once more. Given a positive integer num, okay, sure, positive number. We've got 1, 1,000, 4, something or other, 4. Okay, good. Return the sum of all odd. Oh, that's what it is. We're adding all the odd ones. Okay, so for here, when we do 4, so we don't want to go past 4. We want to get as close to 4 as possible. 4 is our limit. So here, if we've got this, let's say 10, right? All that noise. Pretend it's 4, though. We're going up to the Fibonacci sequence is 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, blah, 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 blah. That's going up to 10, and it stops there. For 4, we don't go up to 5. We've got 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. We're only summing the odd numbers. My bad. It makes sense because that's what it says here. Sum all odd. Wasn't clicking. So we're skipping over 2. So that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That is what our total is. That's what's going on. Okay, cool. We do the Fibonacci sequence up to that number, and then we sum only the odd ones. Fair enough. Let's do this. Go time, fuckers. Let's see. First things first. What the hell should we do? Well, we have to start with 1, 1. So there's that. And we're always dealing with the last 2. We should, you know what, let's just, in the interest of time, we've got limited time. Let's bring up our Kada from codes. We tackled one of these before recently. Hey, Aqua. I crashed a Chrome tab with that. Or I crashed Chrome with that while loop. Hold on. I can't read. I crashed a Chrome tab with a while loop. Oh, boo. That's not fun. You know, I wish I would use while loops more. There are some things that I need to do more while loops. I need to do more for in loops. And a smattering of other things. We aren't actually looking for Kadas. We can go to our profile and we can find the solutions for Kadas that we've completed. And I don't think it's too far away or down the list. We did that. It was instead of Fibonacci with 2, we did a Tribonacci, which was 3 values. We can close that bit out. Are they the same title case? Replaced with alphabet. Aha, look at this. So this was our solution that we ended up using. Signature n, 2 parameters. If n is less than 3, return signature slice 0, 0, and else for I, signature length. So there's the for loop, signature slice, the last two, although they're going down to 3. So it's always looking at the last 3. We could always cut at the last 2, reducing A and B, which is what we need, and then we're pushing those to I. So once we push them to we're pushing them to signature. Once we push them to signature, then we can scrape out the even numbers and sum all the odd ones. Cool. So let's take this as our initial frame of reference. Now remember, Fibonacci, 3 numbers. We only need to deal with 2. Copy. We'll comment some of this noise out as well. All right, there's that. We can even do one of these. Yeah, nice. Okay, so just kind of a general frame of reference there, something for us to look at, ponder at. All right, first things first. It starts with 1, 1. We don't necessarily need an if statement out of the gates. We have 10. Well, technically we've got 4 for our starting number. That's fine. We can use 4. That means we're going to go up to 3. Seeing the other one, they supplied us. We can open this. They supplied us with the signature, or the string. So like here, right now we're just getting an individual number from freeCodeCamp, 4 or 31, something like that. Versus here at Code Wars, they kicked it off with 1, 1, blah, 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 right? So we'll need to start. We can just set up an array with 0. That's what we'll do. We'll set up an array with not 0, but 1 and 1. That's exactly what we'll do. So, first things first, we'll call it fib string, fib array. Just fib. Variable fib. D-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-dee, ba-da-da-da-da-do stuff. Ba-dee-da-dee-da-dee-do-do-do. Ba-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. 1, 1. Beautiful. We have an array. First 2 numbers of the sequence. Do we need the first 2 numbers of the sequence? Maybe we should just start with 1 number. Because technically, they just want a 1. I don't think that's really an issue, but maybe it could be an issue. Maybe we should start with 0, 1. Sounds crazy. Yeah, we can start with 0, 1, because then we can reduce A, B, 1, and then push that. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. We good. So variable fib, and we can do variable sum. which will equal fib dot reduce function a comma b curly braces, you get a semicolon. Variable sum fib reduce function a b. We want to push do we want to push stuff? Push. I almost want to have something different. Push blank. Hold on. I'm running into all these issues in my head. Infinite loop issues. Well, what are we actually pushing it to? What's needed? Should fit actually be 0 and 1? Is there a way to just implement the 0 and 1 right within the reduce? Hold on. Everything's crashing down around me. How would I want to do that? We can call it fib. We'll call it variable start. Start. Reduce. Sum. We'll also have an empty variable fib here to hold stuff. And this way we can push to fib. That's what will happen. So fib.push, there we go. A plus B My concern is that we want it to stop, though. How do we tell it to stop? I know it's a for loop. We can tell it stop pulling things at a certain point. But I feel like it's just going to run forever. Variable I. Maybe that's our issue. If it's less than 3, return slice, blah, blah, blah. That's because, again, Fibonacci is dealing with 2. The Code Wars Kata had 3, so if there were less than 3, it was all sad and blah, blah, blah. So this is really what we need to focus on here. For variable I equals 0, signature length. So it's going through the length of the string. They already have the string. We're trying to go... Oh, this is why Aqua mentioned the while loop. Because it just needs to loop until we reach that. Okay, wow. For blank while blah. Okay, so we'll have to embed this into a while loop. Or something similar to that. Does it keep going until the end of this? I'm not sure. You know, the other thing, too, is that we don't want to have them separate. if we sum this up, it's going to put a 1 down here. And then it's going to be split. So technically, we don't want this. We want it to add another 1. That way it can sum up the last 2. And then add on 2, like so. Versus splitting it and having it do some weird thing. I don't even think it would get to 2. I think it would probably repeat on itself and do some strange thing, which we don't want. Aqua, check your whisper. Checking. The answer in case you want to reference. Okay. No comments this time. JS Ben, way cool. Way cool. Awesome. Good times. Noted. We'll hold on. We're knee-deep in struggling, which is good. Thank you for the whispered answer. We're coming to terms with some of the logistics. What if we did do a for loop? Or we would do for blank while blah variable I slice. See, this is all fine. Blank equals blah 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 blah, and we're pushing. What if we did most of that? Copy. Okay. Here's what we use for our Tribonocti, which again, they provided the string at Code Wars. We're needing to source our own beginnings, and they're giving us the limit at which we stop here at freeCodeCamp. So for this one, 4. Other ones, they've got 1,000 and stuff like that. So it's slightly different. That's why we've got our start point. But ideally, Pixel 97. Did you work on some projects, or you just watch tutorials? I believe he's learning purely from tutorials on this site. Can you recommend some sites on learning web development? We have done some projects, but most of them have been through these type of tutorial sites. Where we started was at Code Academy. Loading. And they've recently done a lot of changes to their site. So they've updated it quite a bit. For this summer, they've done a fairly big change. I mean, a lot of it's still the same, but anyway, so the first 159 days of this odd journey were done here at Code Academy, going through all their free content. They do have paid courses that you can take, but I was trying to learn as much stuff via free options as I could. And catalog. So they cover a smattering of different things. I went through like 15 different courses or languages, all different: HTML, CSS, Sass, JavaScript, AngularJS, Ruby on Rails, all kinds of stuff. They've even added more. They've recently added a new Amazon Alexa program, so that'll be interesting. From Code Academy, I went on to Code Wars, which is not so much lessons, but similar to these challenges. And although freeCodeCamp has challenges, they also have a lot of lesson tutorial instructional items as well. In fact, it's mostly instructional things, just to get you up to speed. And it's pretty good because they've got a front-end development certificate, visual languages as well, CSS, SAS, all that kind of good stuff for data visualization. Then they have back-end, and you can eventually end up doing some nonprofit work. And then after that, they don't have it listed here, but they do have a full stack certificate, and that requires completing basically all of this stuff, including the assisting with nonprofits. So yeah, good times. Right now we're just in the midst of chipping away at the front end development stuff. In the beginning of October, which is just a day or two away, we're gonna start to focus more on side projects. But yeah, as far as tutorial sites, Codecademy is good if you have a specific language in mind. I just tried to complete everything. That's definitely not the best way to go about doing it. If you have a certain language you're already interested in, a certain type of project you're focused on completing, then you can sort of pick and choose which courses or languages might be a good start. Codecademy is a good place to get the ball rolling. freeCodeCamp's great, again, for the same thing. You could, if you're just interested in the visual languages, you could jump straight to the data visualization courses. Code Wars is good if you're just trying to hone your skills, if there's challenges. I know another site that's recommended to me is Treehouse. I've never done any of the Treehouse courses. I think it's paid. I know they have some free stuff, but that's a whole other can of worms, so we'll get there eventually. But yeah, right now, treading water with the challenges and activities here at freeCodeCamp. Probably a longer, uglier answer than you wanted, but that's what's up. Ah, that's right, the Odin project. That was another one. The Odin project is on our to-do list. Something about for loops. Okay, we got caught up with a tangent of reminiscing. Now, we don't want to take that. We want to take our source, or the starting string. We want to take those 0 and 1. We want to reduce those and add on to it. But we want to stop when it reaches a limit. How do we tell it to stop? You know what? I want to check out Aqua's link. Let's do back out of this. Don't mind me. Don't mind the man behind the curtain. Okay, whisper stuff. Notifications. Tiny cat. Where does one find whispering? No. Little kitty, over here. Stop rubbing your face on my fingers. There you go. Who's got your tail? Steven does. Whisper stuff. If I was a dude trying to find... I don't find... No. Cat. Look, just sit. Yeah. Okay. Let's find... Oh my god. You're so furry and determined. Why? Whisper stuff. No. Go. Shimmy. Cat. Shimmy. No, no. Why do you need so much attention, little kitty? Just... we can hang out before the stream or after the stream, but right now we're trying to solve a problem at hand. We've got limited time. Alright? No, 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 no. Look, if you want to hang out, you can assume the napping position in our lab. It's as good as it's gonna get. Hey, Whispers, we found it. Thank God. Yes, yes, good. Boom. Dum 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 dum. Was a while loop. Okay, cool. So current and last and then sum. So you're setting up all three. Interesting. Okay. When current is less than the number. Okay, while current is less than the number. So that's how we're doing it. Okay. I swear to God, little kitty. Hey, hey, no ruining their helpful code. You go be a cat somewhere else. Alright, alright. So, no. You are not going to lay down on the escape key. Yeah. Okay, we're good. There you go. Yeah, good. You've been loved. Hey, no. Oh my God. Cat, we've got like 0 time left to string. Look, just go be furry somewhere else for like 6.5 minutes, okay? Oh, dear God, stress. Happy thoughts, Steven. Happy thoughts. So, while loop, current, as long as current is less than the number, I am going to have a brain aneurysm, little cat. Son of a bitch, you furry quadruped. Look it. Just be happy in our lab with that clause. There you go. Napping position. Yeah, you like that? Good. Okay. Stay there. Be happy. Holy shit. Gah, claws. Not a good idea on my part. Sorry for the cat fiasco. Oh God. So many little knives in my leg. It's really hard to focus and develop a decent train of thought. Dealing your tail, cat, your tail with her. Okay. We can get rid of our for loop. Keeping the 3 that we have is an okay place to start. Because clearly we're going to need 3 different variables from the get-go. Now, while current is less than or equal to number, console log current minus less. Okay, we don't have to do that. It's commented out. But variable value will equal current plus last. So that's basically our reduce. This is easier to use. There's no real benefit to throwing reduce into the mix if we're going to use the while loop. Last will be equal to current. Okay. So we add those together, then we're updating last. And then if the value is divisible by 2 with no remainder, so modulo, then sum will plus equal the value. That's this guy. It's going to get updated constantly. So that will be summing the odd. And then at the end, we're going to return it. Okay, way cool. Aqua saves the day. Little kitty was trying to sabotage it. God, death, little cat, you furry son of a... Okay, don't mind me. There's a cat in our lap with just claw. When they nap, they put their claws out, getting comfy, and yes, it's like mid-thigh, and it's terrible. Aqua, I'm seeing a mistake, I think. Shouldn't it be odd numbers? Then val percent modulo 2, 1, right? Yes. Yeah, well, technically, we could just do, not equals 0. That'd be another alternative. But yeah, or equals 1. That could totally be a thing. We can change that up. We can totally do that. But overall, this is the general path to success, which is thing is works as odd. Sure, that's cool. I'm down for all that. All right, so wow, you are just all balled up down there. You're a little kitty pretzel. Nice. Okay, so I want to start with, we can do last, current. We'll keep the general idea. We may alter the variable names overall, but in general, pretty similar. Pretty similar to what we're going to end up with. So variable current. I guess I don't need start. And technically, we won't need to use reduce inside the while loop. While, and we'll just get rid of our old stuff before. Do we want it to be an array, or can it just be a single value? I guess we really don't need to house or store any arrays anywhere. It's just those individual values as they get updated. So that's cool. No need for those. Current. Last and sum. 1, 0, 0. 1, 0, and 0. Okay. So while we've got up here, num again is a limit. So starting with 1, current will be less than or equal to num. Curly braces. Oh god. Oh god. Trigger happy. From there, and in the end, we'll be returning sum. Okay. While this, we want current to be less than num. We want to take current and last. That's what's different. Last. And it was current plus last, but it was equal to something. Value, that's what it was. Variable value equals current plus last. And they want last to equal current. So what's actually happening there? Variable value So current is 1. Last is starting off at 0. That'll change. That will equal value. And then from there, it was value last equals current. Last will be updated with current. Last will equal current, which means last will be updated to 1. And that'll trickle down through the while loop again, blah, 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 blah. That becomes the 1. This becomes the 2, and blah, blah. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Good, good. Just come to terms with everything. Nice, nice. There's that. So last equals current. And then from here, we're doing our if. Now, for odd numbers, again, Aqua, you're right. We will need to change that because that's hunting for even numbers. If James says games. What's up? James says games. I solved your problem yesterday. In C#. Awesome. You saw, yeah, we actually gave it another go yesterday as well, and we were able to pinpoint. It was, God, what did we end up? I'm forgetting the specifics, but we figured out the third case in our switch case. We changed it to default, and then ran an if statement in there. I think it was only 3 conditions, which required only 2 ands to pull it off, but we ended up solving it regex free, and yeah, it was pretty good. It was using me now. He was a big help yesterday, so that was awesome. But yeah, that problem was a real brain teaser right there at the end for that last case. If blankety blank, yeah, Aqua, I mean, oh, you were lucky. Okay, that's cool. Not to worry. Again, the last 272 days have been one giant mistake, probably, so not to worry. We are a mistake-generating machine. So if, was it value? I'm totally drawing blank. Yeah, value. So if we didn't want it to be not even, right? Or should it be 1? Should it be not equals 0 or equals 1? I thought it was not equals 0 for odd numbers, but it's been a while. JavaScript, odd number it is odd, return num modulo 2. 1 represents an odd number while 0 represents even. It is a 1. I just thought it was not 0. My bad. 2 modulo 2, because 2 divided by 2 equals 1 with 0 remainder. 3 divided by 2 equals 3 modulo 2 equals 1, because 3 divided by 2, 1 is a remainder. Okay. And negative 7 modulo 2, negative 1, because blank, blank, blank. Yeah, good, good. Okay, so that's why it is 1. Good to know. Good to know. When in doubt, listen to Aqua. Good life tip for anyone. So there's that. We'll do 3. Curly brackets. Blankety blankety blah. Sum plus equals value. So updating the last one. And the plus equals means it will constantly update with each run through of the while loop. So right now, value is 1, 0 plus 1, and we'll get rid of this. 0 plus 1. Last gets updated with 1, so that kicks up to a 1. If it's an odd number, it gets pushed to sum. Then that means it runs through. Now that this is a 1, it means it's 1 plus 1, which is a 2. That gets updated. Last one now equal 2. Since it's not an odd number, it doesn't get pushed. And then from there, we end up with 2 plus 1, which is 3, blah, blah, blah. 3 is an odd number, which means it's get pushed and updated here. It's summing. We've got 1 and 1 and 3, which is 5. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so from there, we can do the following. This needs a semicolon. The almighty semicolon. Can't travel without it. Current equal value. Return sum. All right. Oh, current equals value. Return sum. I think everything looks pretty damn good overall. Blankety blankety blank. We can remove the spaces. Nice, nice. Okay. Let's give that a shot. I don't think... Oh, okay. Don't mind me. I had the chat scrolled up. I've been missing some of your comments. Okay, Aqua fixed it. Console edit. Been awake for about 19 hours on 3.5 hours of sleep. Mistakes are often made. Ooh, yeah, I know, but that's where we're no stranger to terrible sleep conditions. You should definitely get some sleep sooner than later. Also, click on the console button in the middle. Okay, okay. Console stuff. Nice, and we can update. Console stuff. Nice. Okay, so click on the console button in the middle. It shows the results. Very cool, very cool. If you uncomment the console log, you can see what's happening in the background. Oh yeah, no, I saw that, but that's... I think we're okay without it for now, but why not? There's that. Console. JavaScript. We'll refresh that for fun. Boom. Look at that. See, there we go. A beautiful visual breakdown of what is happening. 1 minus 0, 2 minus 1, 3 minus 2, blankety 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 blah. Nice. Nice. Okay. Well, not 1 minus, but current. That was our current number. That was the last one. Blankety 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 blank, right? So there we go. So there's that. Let's go ahead and run what we've got. Fingers crossed. Although there's a 32% chance that I messed something up. Fixed it. Hold on, let me jump back into chat. I missed a step. Loading. You can close some of these extra ones. And did I ever change it to... Yeah, I did have it. I changed it back to 1. Nice. Fixed it. There's that. Hey, Topher. How you doing? We're on the cusp of finalizing. Oh, you added... Okay, interesting. You added a next. Very cool. We'll even comment out the console log stuff. Run that second time. Ta-da! B-D-D-D-D. Good times. Topher starting your own projects tomorrow. Well, today's still the 29th. Tomorrow we've got the 30th. Our last day of sort of treading water. I didn't know if we were going to preview the project tomorrow, kind of like that first day for the last project where it was just setting up the file structure and all that. I think it should be fine and easier, less daunting for your project with fewer docs involved. So I may just dive into it on the first. I'm thinking of possibly just previewing, going over some of the instructional stuff tomorrow before actually kicking it off, and that just may be a shorter stream, but I'm not sure. So I may preview the project tomorrow, or if I don't preview it tomorrow, then we'll just dive in hard on the first. So yeah, that's that. So that'll be Sunday, but we're looking forward to kicking it off. Your project, October 1st. It's gonna be epic. I just hope Little Kitty doesn't destroy it. I mean, chances are I'll make a mistake before Little Kitty does anything catastrophic, but she is a constant threat in these parts of the world. It's very similar to SimCity, playing with disasters on, earthquakes and fires and the Godzilla monster. That's Little Kitty, but here in my room, and me trying to learn how to code. She's an ever-present danger. More importantly, back to focusing on the task at hand. So, we're going to add a next to the mixed. We're going to add a next variable in the mix, followed by sum plus equals current, next plus last equals current. A few changes. Okay. Sum plus equals current, variable next equals 0, followed by next plus equals current and last equals current, and current equals next. next equals current plus last. Yeah. Question, if I do dive into it on the, this is for Topher in general, October the 1st is a Sunday. Did you have a preferred time in general on when I try to tackle that? Or just whenever I feel like it, dive into the stream? I didn't know if you were looking forward to being there on our maiden voyage for your project. That is all. Last equals current. Okay, okay. Last equals current. Aqua, oh, you guys gonna do a project together? Whenever. He's provided us with a project before in the past. This is the second one. Most recently, our last viewer submitted project was from Tenacious Raptor. That was a fun and interesting one. But we've got Topher is assisting me with setting up sort of a secondary side project. So that'll be in the very near future. Again, October 1st. After we finish his, we're going to try to continue. It won't be every day, but it will definitely be an option of doing a side project. I'm hoping more than 50+% of the streams will be side projects instead of the tutorial sites. I'm trying to really ramp up my actual project, coding project game instead of hanging out exclusively at tutorial sites. So at this point, they've gone from beneficial to slightly crippling, if you will. They've limited my growth somewhat. Sticking with tutorial sites only. Very helpful in general, but they should really be used in tandem with projects. I've milked them about as long as possible, so. Let's go ahead and run this, right? I think we are set. Mostly. Fire at will and frickin' boom. Don't mind me. Turn some current blah 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 to compare. Oh, is it the it Z? Look at that. The it was the variable current last thing. That's what's throwing it off. Okay. Cool. So we can get rid of console and console for now. There we go. There we go. Ta-da! Cranked it up to 11. Beautiful. Once more, as a quick breakdown, we are given, yet again, we're summing just the odd numbers of the Fibonacci sequence. So they provide us with a limit, 10. We get everything back. However, we're only summing the odd numbers, and that's what we're returning. So that's what we've got down here with the sample cases all the way to 1,000. We're summing only the odd numbers that are returned up to this limit in the Fibonacci sequence. So we're given our limit. We've got our set of starting variables, next, current, last, and sum, using a while loop. While current is less than or equal to, as we count up to number, and if current is an odd number, then we will plus equals, that'll total and update sum with the current number, and from there, next plus current, next equals current plus last. Last will then equal current, and then current will update next. The universe is balanced, everything keeps spinning, and we return sum. Ta-da! Look at that. Look at that. Success. crank it up to 11. Hell yeah. Submit and go forth. All right, let's jump over to our profile as we begin to slowly shut down the stream. Let me check out some of the comments. Okay, starting a project tomorrow. You guys are doing a project together whenever. Nah, I put together a few challenges for him to tackle and learn. Cool, all in JavaScript. Yeah, for starters, since most of his learning has been in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, BDA, I included a CodePen example for the first project. Don't look at the source code. Gotcha. No, look at that. It's just going to give you an idea of the functionality expected. Okay, cool. So we can look at the CodePen to gauge the functionality. Don't look at, god damn you, cat. Bad. So many claws. All right, way cool. Well, we are backing out. Let's close out of this. Day 272 comes to an end, but the adventure continues tomorrow with day 273, and then day 274 we start off on our project. Thank you again for anyone and everyone who stopped by to view the stream and assist. Huge hat tip to Aqua today for assisting us with finding today's solution. In general, we had Aqua, James Does Games, Topher, and let's see, back. Okay, James Does Games. Don't stop. Haven't been watching. I'm trying to set up my green screen. Everything is recorded in the VOD. We gotta bounce, unfortunately. But again, thank you to anyone and everyone who stopped by to view and assist. It is greatly appreciated. In the meantime, we are stopping the stream. Are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Kill it.